Our Finance's tech editor, Dan Howley, has all the details. Dan.
That's right, Josh. This is a biggin, as they say, I guess. I'm from Jersey. I don't think that people say that there. But anyway, this is a $10 billion data center that they're going to be building in Indiana. It's their second in the state. The company says it'll be meant to power both their AI and core products. So making sure that you stay on Instagram to keep looking at pictures of cats and people's food pictures. But it's interesting because as part of this announcement, they really went ahead and pushed at the idea that they're kind of trying to help the community around the area. So they talk about some of the investments that they're making in the infrastructure with more than $120 million for water in the Lebanon area, which is where it's going to be happening, improvements to transmission lines and area utilities, as well as upgrades to roads. They also mention that they're paying for all of their full cost of the energy that the data center uses. Makes sense. But on top of that, they also said that this system in particular is a closed loop liquid cool system. In other words, it doesn't necessarily need to use water all the time from surrounding areas. It's going to use them, they say, the vast majority of the time it'll be turned off. Occasionally it'll come back on, I guess, to bring in more liquid. And, you know, this has been an ongoing issue for folks who live adjacent to, I mean, some people are just direct neighbors to these data centers.
Not everybody loves it.
No,
it's
no.
Right. It's the sounds, the cooling system.
Sounds,
my utility
pollution,
bill, right.
Utility bill, the water, you know, I mean, so these are big time issues that folks are dealing with. And, you know, grew up in Jersey, grew up near plants and stuff right down the block from me. Doesn't always look as nice as possible, and hedges only get so high, man. Right, they can be higher.
Let me ask you this: if I was a Meta investor, I'd be listening to this great report by Dan Howley. I might wonder, all right, how does this help Mark Zuckerberg print more money in the quarters and the years ahead? What's the answer to that?
Yeah, I mean, look, the more that they can develop their AI, the more that they can then reinvest that into the business itself. And that's huge for them. They are one of the companies that's genuinely showing how AI can benefit them. They don't necessarily offer it to other people. They have open source models, but they're not waiting for customers to come on, use their enterprise services or build necessarily on their AI. They're integrating it directly into their ad sales, into the algorithms that they use that people then, you know, scroll through. So it behooves them to continue to improve this because it's having material impact on their bottom line in a positive way. I mean, they're also spending like crazy, $135 billion in 2026. That's up from 72 in 2025. That's a good chunk of change. But if they can continue to benefit and grow here as a result of these types of AI build-outs, then obviously it's a win-win for them.
Let me get your take. I want one final take from Howley on this headline. Bill Ackman, the hedge fund kingpin himself. All right, you saw this. Reveals a new stake, Howley, in Meta. Per the Journal, position amounted to 10% of the firm's capital at the end of 2025. So we're talking roughly $2 billion. Pershing Square saying, explaining this, they put it like this, Dan. They say, Meta's business model is one of the clearest beneficiaries, they say, of AI integration. You agree with that?
Yes. I mean, we started to see, you know, when Meta was reporting its earnings a few quarters ago, the impact that AI was having and how much it was benefiting as a result. They'll say this directly in their earnings reports and, you know, during the phone calls that this is having, you know, a positive impact on them. They also, by the way, roll AI into their future devices, those smart glasses, things like that. That's going to be a big part of it. So the more they can develop this AI and roll it out across their products, the better.